Testing. Testing. Alrighty. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the channel today, and today we have another FC Cincinnati series. We're not on the normal main screen here. I just wanted to point out that Hunter Sult actually made Player of the Week. So they deemed him the best keeper in MLS. So this past week, so that's great. I mean, even though a lot of goals have been scored on him, but I mean, if you also look at the amount of times he's been shot at to how many times he's saved, I mean, you know, it's kind of hard to not give him that. Club news, don't necessarily need to know about that. Nothing about that. International news. So it looks like club stages have already happened for the World Cup. Cool. Breaking, yeah, don't need to worry about that. So, we are taking on Orlando, who I think is, I think they're saying they're fourth. So it's definitely going to be an interesting game. I'm really kind of feeling a little bit of a change. I mean, because we have Ortega, who's been a little underwhelming as of late. I know he scored in the game against Atlanta, or it might have been Atlanta or Toronto, but I'm not really. I feel like potentially giving other people some chances, but Naaman scored last game, so I'm definitely not taking him out. Keys has really been kind of underwhelming. Pretty much everyone. Gray's been really good since I put him in. I will say that much. I'm gonna go ahead and put Wolf in for I have to be Sealy or Pepe. I do want to kind of give Pepe a little bit more chances, so probably just yeah for now. Let's go ahead and I wonder if Pepe's actually upset because I'm not starting him. Doesn't matter to me, but he's not been good enough to start. This guy is actually going to go out on loan. As you can see here, he's joining Admiral Wacker. I'm sure that's not how you say it. Once the transfer window opens, so technically he still plays for us, but I really just use he's just used as the default CPU guy during development drills. So he's not going to play at all. He's basically not a part of the team until the transfer window opens. Let's go ahead and go down to Pepe here. He's not happy with team performance. He's fine with playtime. He's fine with player performance. I'd actually be a little upset with how he's been performing. That's whatever. Contract, he's fine with. I'm sure everyone here is happy with their contract, which is good. I don't think anyone here would be upset about that. Salt, of course, is going to be happy. I'm not happy about their playtime. Neil, oh, you're at 47 overall, my boy. Like, that's not... that ain't happening. Alright. You're 16 as well, so you're going to develop. Can I send you to... Damn. I was going to say, can I send him to my youth academy? But it doesn't look like I can. I don't want Actonridge to be my captain, actually. Oh, I have to do that in the squad sheet, don't I? Whoops. Whoa. No. Roles. Captain is going to go to Salt. Just because of how well he's been playing for us. Yeah, that's fine. Yes. Salt has definitely deserved the captain's badge from us. With that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this game against Orlando City. I'm definitely a little worried about this game, I'm not going to lie. But I feel like, I mean, we competed against Atlanta pretty well. Not so much against New England when we lost 5-1, but definitely against Atlanta, which makes me happy. And let's go. Oh shit. Junior Urso. Oh god. No. It's kind of cool how they actually use like players from. Good job. Players from the other team. Haha. You're fucked. Lopez, you're slow, you're slow, you're slow, you're slow, you're slow. What? How the hell did you do that? Give me that. No, get there, Lopez. Ah! And this will be the final one. Oh god, no. Get that out. Get there, Bull. Good job. Of course you went out of bounds. Alright. It's funny that they give you like grades and stuff for that, but so apparently this guy used to play for us. I don't really remember the team all that well that used to play for us before trading for everyone that I have, but let's go ahead and take a look at their roster. I don't really know players that well in MLS, but definitely, yeah. So they're definitely putting him in. I don't remember who I got for him, but I wish they would show who I had that was on that team. I think it might have been Wolf, actually. So, I'm pretty sure it was Wolf. Alright. Alright. And I mean, Wolf will probably get in this game at some point. So, he's just not nearly good enough to be a starter for us. He's borderline even good enough being on the bench, but we're already starting off with a good attack. That's Sandoval. Already pushing. Sandoval's going to shoot, and he's going to score! And that's going to put us up 1-0 already in the second minute of this match. That is what I like to see. Sandoval's been on a slight slump as of late, but that has definitely changed as of now. It's good to see us starting off very strong in this game and getting the lead right away. Alright. That's very good to see. And Sandoval, I feel like he's going to definitely become very good. It's just for like the first year or two, he might be a little inconsistent just due to how young he is. But it's good to see what he potentially can be. As they're going to try scoring here, and Salt's going to deflect it as he does. And that will be a corner for Orlando. I was going to say Orlanta. And that's going to be a bad header, and that will be a goal kick, as I thought that was actually going to go in. I feel like really for the most part, the most improved player for us, as that's off the crossbar, or off the goalpost, or yeah, they say crossbar, has been Gray, just because I put him in, and he's just been defensively sound. As that's going to be taken away from Sandoval, as Orlando's going to start pushing once again. And that's Gray, speaking of which. I feel like really just kind of all of our defensive players that weren't on the starting lineup to start the season have been exceptional. So you have Bailey, you have Ackenridge, as that's going to get taken away from Sandoval. They've all really kind of shown their worth and shown that they deserve to be like a starter. And that's going to be taken away, as that potentially could have been a penalty, and that's going to be shot again, and that's going to be put in the back of the net, as it is tied up now 1-1. So we had the stop, and we had the chance to take it away, but we did not, as holding on to the ball has been quite the challenge for us this year. So we're going to go ahead and get it to Sandoval here, who's going to make a push, and he's not going to have much room. So he's just going to start going back. Naaman, who scored the only goal last game in the 1-5 defeat against New England, he's actually been very solid for us because, you know, he's only 16, and the fact that he scored 2 goals this year as a center defensive mid is pretty impressive, as that's taken away from Sandoval. And that should either be out of bounds or offsides, and it's going to be out of bounds. Naaman's going to get the ball here, as it'll be passed on over to Sandoval, as Sandoval is going to be pushing here as he has an open lane, as he's going to get past a couple defenders, and that's not going to be called, as that was very close to being called a penalty, but in fact it is not. Definitely seeing a little bit more pressure out of our team today, which is good, as that's going to be passed and taken away, but they gain the possession back, as Orlando's going to go ahead and try pushing it here, and that's going to be stopped by the defender, and that's going to be followed up with a terrible shot, and it will be our ball. Gray's going to go ahead and pass it out to Bull, who has voiced that he doesn't naturally feel as if he's a good left winger, but he'll play the position if needed, which is very good to hear our players being versatile. As this is another push by Orlando, and that's going to be shot and put in the back of the net, as that's a now 2-1 lead for Orlando. Ever since the second minute, this game has just been Orlando's game, as that's going to be taken away from Sandoval yet again, as we're trying to put some defensive pressure best we can on them, but they're just still finding ways to score, which is just not very helpful for us, as they're going to try crossing it here, as Keys is going to be there for the stop, and he will just try to get it out of there. Sandoval with the ball here, as he's going to make the defender miss, as that looked like that actually was slid into him and not the ball, but we've not had the best of luck having calls go our way as of late, as Lopez is going to have the ball here, as he's going to have an open lane, as the defender is going to take the ball away from him. Orlando pushing with the ball here, and going to go ahead and miss on defense there. Looks like they're pushing here yet again, as Gray's going to be there defensively for the stop. That's not who I meant to pass to. Wade's going to get the ball here, as he's going to go ahead and pass it on over to Lopez, who has an open lane. He's going to try pushing here, and he's going to get stuffed, and the ball is taken away. And this is an open shot, and Solt is going to deflect the shot there, as that will be a corner kick for Orlando. Just going to do a little short pass here, and that's going to be a good move here, as that's going to be smacked off the goalpost, but I think they're going to give him a corner because I think Solt just touched it at the last possible second. Keys is going to get the ball here, and he's going to go marching up the field now with it, as there's not really anyone in front of him, as he's going to just keep going, as nobody really seems to stop him right now, as he is actually just drained with all of that energy gone from sprinting up the field, which is very understandable because he's not really known for doing that. That is for sure, as that should be offsides, but it's not, but we will still take it, as Kiza found a way to make it all the way back, as that's going to be taken back by Orlando, and that's going to be put in the back of the net yet again, making it 3-1, as this is turning out very similar to how the New England game turned out. Orlando somehow still has the ball, even though they just scored. It looks like they're going to try doing that just again, and they're going to do it again, as it is 4-1 now. And that is a hat trick for him. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on out to Way here, as we're already in the 32nd minute and we're just getting our behinds kicked as Lopez is gonna get the ball here, and that's gonna be a penalty on Orlando. We're just gonna go ahead and get the ball to Akinridge here. Just go ahead and pass it over to Bull. It looks like he might be going for the cross here, except he's gonna cut back in, and he's gonna still have the ball here somehow. He's gonna shoot the ball, and he's gonna make it, and that's gonna make it a 4-2 game, as that is a goal for Bull.
Well, here's the replay, Derek, and the defensive coach will be all over this one. Shocking defending. There's so much time for the strikers. That can't be right.
Orlando's going to go ahead and push with the ball here. Cincinnati has come back from a 4-2 deficit at half before, but they did end up losing it in the game against Toronto. So I don't feel like a 2-goal lead is necessarily unsafe. Is necessarily safe, I mean. It's definitely not safe at all. This way he's going to get the ball here. He's going to go ahead and pass it on over to Lopez, who's going to have an open lane, but because he's so slow, he's just going to pass it, and that's going to be a penalty on Orlando. Go ahead and pass it to Akinridge here. There's really nobody to pass to. He's going to go ahead and pass it out to Way, who's going to try and making an open lane here, and that's going to get taken away by Orlando. Akinridge giving some nice pressure there on defense. And then they're going to go ahead and pass that way downfield, as that is definitely offsides, but they're having a hard time calling offsides against these teams lately, as Salt is going to make a nice save. And that's going to be a bad decision on Salt's end, and it's going to give Orlando the ball right back, as we are looking at another attacking opportunity for Orlando, and that's going to be an open net, as that is absolutely ridiculous. It is now 5-2 before we even reach halftime. Lopez is going to get the ball here, and as usual, he's going to get the ball taken away from him, except they're going to call that on Moko Joe, who is the former Cincinnati player, and I'm pretty sure he is definitely happy with how this result is turning out, as Akinridge has the ball here. He's going to go ahead and pass it to Sandoval, who has just so many people around him. There's really nobody to pass to either, as he's just going to go ahead and pass it, and that's going to be a corner kick for Cincinnati. Sandoval's going to go ahead and kick it out to Bull here, who kind of kicked it out just a little bit too far there, as that will be taken away and cleared. Way with the ball here, and that's going to get taken away, and this is just not a good look overall for this Cincinnati team. So they're going to try crossing it here, and that's going to just he's actually just going to pass it in, and that's going to be deflected, and that should just about wrap up this half. And we are down 5-2 already, as the comeback is looking very improbable for us, as this has just not been good for us all around. Let's go ahead and make some subs here. Let's go ahead and put, I think Wolf is pretty fast. Let's go ahead and put Wolf in striker, just because I'm getting really tired of Lopez not being able to really run that fast. And it's really, he gets stuffed all the time. That's a nice save by Way there, as he's just going to go ahead and make the defender miss, and he's going to go ahead and pass it over to Ortega, and just kind of playing around the ball here. So we're going to get it to Wolf, who hasn't played much since the last time we saw him, when he missed a wide open shot against Toronto to tie the game. I think that was Toronto, might have been DC United. That's going to be an open pass. Is that somehow not offsides? I don't know why they don't call those against them, but they do not. Sandoval's going to go ahead and pass it over to Wolf, speaking of which, and this is his former team as well, as he's going to go ahead and make a lane here, as he's not going to get stuffed. He's going to go ahead and shoot the ball, and he's going to score in the back of the net, and that's going to make it a 5-3 game. That is Wolf against his former team. As you can tell, he has definitely been working on his craft ever since he missed that wide open shot, and instead he puts it in the back of the net for his first goal of the season. That was a nice move to make the defender miss, and he put it just in the perfect spot for the keeper to not be able to get it. Definitely showing that our defense needs work again this game, but we're down to just a 2-goal deficit, which makes me feel a little bit more comfortable than a 3-goal deficit. We're going to go ahead and seal the ball here, as that's Naaman, as he's going to pass it to Sandoval, and he's going to go ahead and pass it over to Wolf, who just got tackled, and that's going to be a penalty, as that was a very close one, as Wolf is going to go ahead and get the ball back, and he's going to get the ball taken away, and that time the penalty was not called. And I feel like the refs just kind of want to get the action going just a little bit and not call every little thing. And that's going to be taken away by Bailey, who's been very solid and very quiet at the same time. He's been one of those players that you just don't necessarily hear about a lot. As Wolf's going to get the ball here, as he's going to go ahead and pass it over to Way. As Way is going to go ahead and make some moves down the field here. He's going to go ahead and stop, come back. He's going to pass it to Wolf, as he's going to try to make the defender miss and possibly get his second goal of the game and of the season. He's going to make an open lane, and he's going to score his second goal of the season and of the game, making it a 5-4 game. Wolf is showing that he wants to be a valuable part of this roster, and if he keeps performing like this, he'll definitely have to be. Alright, we're looking at a 5-4 game right now against Orlando, and this has just not been Orlando's half whatsoever, as we've just really been kind of just offensively attacking them, and then just defensively we've been super solid, which makes me really happy to hear, as they're going to make a sub, as Nani is going to be coming in the game. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on out. They're going to be trying to make an offensive attack here, because they're quickly giving up this 3-goal lead, which is very not good for them. They're going to go ahead and try a shot here, and Solt's going to make that save, as that was very close, as we've had opportunities like that before that have just not turned out in our favor. So Ortega's going to go ahead and pass it to Sandoval here, as Sandoval's going to go ahead and make a push. He's going to go ahead and get the ball taken away from him, as I was trying to pass it out to the wing there to Way, as he's going to go ahead and get the ball taken away yet again, as that's going to be Wolf on the attack here, who's causing yet another open lane. Is he going to go for the hat trick and tie up this ball game? He's going to go ahead and shoot, and that's going to get deflected, as he was so close to getting his hat trick for coming off the bench. Sandoval's going to go ahead and pass it out to Ortega here. He's going to go ahead and shoot the ball, and that's going to get deflected, and that's going to get to be a throw-in instead of a corner. We're going to go ahead and pass it on over to Wolf, who's going to make the defender miss, and he's going to go ahead and shoot it, and he's going to go ahead and try to head it, but the defender was there, as Wolf is ever so close to getting his hat trick and tying up this ball game, which would be very exciting to say the least. We're going to go ahead and cross it, and that should be offsides, but for whatever reason, they don't like to call that, as that was deflected off of the defender, and Solt was able to get that pretty well. As that's going to be taken away by the defender there, or by Nani, the sub that just came on, but he's going to miss, as Gray was there defensively. Bailey's going to go ahead and pass it on over to Bull, as he's going to pass it over to Wolf, who's had an exceptional game coming off the bench, which you don't necessarily see potential hat tricks coming from people off the bench, but instead he is proving that he is in fact worth being on this roster. As that's going to be taken away by Way, as that's going to be Sandoval with the ball now. He's going to go ahead and pass it over to Wolf, who's been really good at making opportunities. Is he doing just that right now, as he's going to make the defender catch up with him, and that's going to be a goal for Tyler Wolf, as that is going to be a hat trick for him, and he's going to tie up this ball game. So that is 3 goals for us in this half, as it is a 5-5 game, which is not a normal soccer score, as we have been allowing a lot of goals this season. And this is giving me flashbacks to the Toronto game, but Wolf, in fact, has been taking over this game and proving that he definitely needs to get more playing time. I'm going to go ahead and get the ball back, and they're going to just actually get the ball right from me. Nani, the sub, is gonna be looking for a cross here potentially, and that's going to be a header, and that's going to be off the crossbars. That was oh so close to being a goal. Cross right here, and they're going to go ahead and get the ball back here. So we're just going to go ahead and try to clear it, and that's not going to work in our favor, as that's going to be a slide tackle, and that is going to be Orlando's ball, it looks like. Actually, no, it's not. For some reason, they're giving us the ball on that, even though I slid it out. So for once, we actually get a call going our way. Go ahead and pass it over to Bailey. Ortega's going to go ahead and get the ball now. He's going to go pass it out to the wing there to Way, as that was a very risky pass. So we're going to go ahead and pass it on over to Wolf, the player of the game, undoubtedly. He's going to go ahead and get the ball again, and he has another opportunity, but gets the ball taken away from him due to a tackle. Orlando's definitely trying to make up for this 3-goal lead that they gave up here in this second half, as that's going to be taken away, as that's going to be called a penalty on Gray, as that potentially was in the box, so that's going to be a yellow card. They could potentially give him a penalty kick for that. It was just outside, so they're not going to give him a penalty for it, but it'll be right outside the box, as they're going to fake the kick here, as they're going to try some trickery here, as it's not going to work out for him, as that's very surprising. And Salt's going to make that amazing save, as he was offside, so even if that would have went in, he wouldn't have gotten the goal. Let's go ahead and look at our players here, make probably a sub. Good. I'm going to go ahead and wait for my last sub. I might put Pepe at attacking mid, which go ahead and pass it over to Wolf, who has made so many opportunities for us with the hat trick that he has, and he's going to go ahead and get past the defender, but not the second one. As Orlando really, you can tell the Orlando fans really want them to make up for this three-goal lead that they blew, as Peto is going to be pushing here, as he's going to pass it, and this is just going to be sloppy offense from Orlando, which is not exactly something you see from the 4th best team in the league against the team that is struggling to even win a game. As Ortega's going to go ahead and get the ball here, and they're going to pass it to Sandoval. As you can tell, Cincinnati really just want to plays as much keep away as they possibly can, as Sandoval's going to get the ball here. As soon as there's any sort of pressure, Cincinnati's been great about getting the ball away, which is exactly what you need to see from a team. And you're kind of wondering why they didn't do this all along. As Wolf is going to make a push here. He's going to go ahead and stop. He's going to turn back around. He's going to go ahead and shoot the ball, and that's going to be off the defender, as Wolf was getting a little too carried away, hoping for his 4th goal of the game. I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Wolf, who has an opportunity again. He's going to shoot the ball, and that's going to go in the back of the net, as Wolf has scored his 4th goal of the game. And that's going to give us a 6-5 lead with just 7 minutes left to go in the game. This is his 4th goal of the game and of the season, as Wolf is having a historic day. now Cincinnati really needs to play their best defense, as we're in the 84th minute now, and Orlando has given up 4 goals in this half, and they were up 5-2 at half, and they've just had so much opportunities even on offense this half, but they've just not been able to capitalize at all, as it's going to get taken away, and we're going to just go ahead and clear the ball here. And Cincinnati's been playing really great defense overall this half, as Orlando's going to go ahead and make the push here, because they need to figure out something in these last 4 minutes, or they're going to lose. As that's going to be saved by Solt, as I thought for sure that was going into the back of the net, as that guy is going to be subbed off. No names that well. As you can see here, Orlando's had 5 corners to R2, and that's going to be headed and stopped. I'm just going to go ahead and roll it on out here. For these last 3 minutes, we just got to play keep away, but the best we can, and just hope that stoppage time isn't too much, because that's how we lost to Atlanta, was through stoppage time. It's looking like we're ever so close to our first points of this game, as that's going to be taken away, as Orlando really needs to push here. It's before the 90th minute, and they're really going to have to do something here as they get 3 minutes of stoppage time, as that should be offsides, and that's exactly what it is. As you can tell, Alvarado is absolutely upset with himself, as he potentially could have blown the game for Orlando here, as Seeley's just going to go ahead and run back with it, and Gray is going to have it, who has a yellow card on the day, which we luckily did not get a penalty kick for, as Orlando's trying to make the last ditch effort here, as that was an excellent move by the player there, as that's going to be taken away by Gray, who's played excellent defense, and that's cleared, and Cincinnati is going to win their first game of the season 6-5, and this was probably the most historic game ever, as Tyler Wolff is definitely player of the game. Definitely look forward to seeing him more in the starting lineup, because you can't not start after scoring 4 goals. Without him, this game would not have been possible. We were down 5-2 at the half, which in and of itself was ridiculous. So the fact that we even came back from a 5-2 deficit is amazing. I am just absolutely dumbfounded right now, as that second half Orlando was just really sloppy on offense, because you could tell they scored 5 goals in one half to R2, and then after that they just had so many opportunities to score and they just didn't. So we have the highlights playing in the background here. Pato definitely had a lot of good possessions that game. He definitely was carrying his team on his back, but definitely not quite enough, as Wolff outmatched him with 4 goals in the second half. Holy moly. Bull getting a goal of his own. You have Sandoval getting a goal of his own. And then the rest was all Tyler Wolff. Makes me really wonder if he's actually ready, because all along I've been saying he's not ready to be on the roster, and he just, every now and then I'll put him on the bench to get some playing time, as Solt makes an excellent save there, but of course gets put in the back of the net. I thought for sure that this game was over, as this man was our offense all of that second half, as that was just amazing. And then Gray had a great game defensively. Definitely was not expecting that. Holy moly. I'm definitely going to find ways to make him on this roster. Get him a spot, playing time, you name it. This makes me really happy to see this, especially for playing San Jose next, who scored 2 total goals this whole year. Unless they scored at the most recent game, which I don't think they have. And Wolff right here, giving us the 4th goal of the game. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a complete 10.0 in the way of a player rating, and he does. That is just amazing. As you can see here, we had 10 shots. We had 9 shots on target. They had a little bit more possession time than us. Twice as many tackles. 4 fouls to our 1. 5 corners to our 2. We were much better on our shot accuracy and much better on our pass accuracy, which is exactly what I love to see. Alrighty. Let's go to this press conference and talk about this historical comeback. Because now we should be ahead of Montreal unless they won.
Just a couple of questions for you.
Go for it. I guess the game will be remembered for the fantastic 4 goals Wolf scored today. Was he the inspiration behind a great result? Absolutely. He was special today. I mean, everybody at the club knows Wolf is an exceptional player. He's inspirational today, but credit goes where it's due. That one was down to an excellent all-around team. No, it was definitely Wolf. You should feel the sense of relief all around the club. You managed to break your losing streak at last. What happens now? Can you expect to build on this result? Not losing is a good start. I will say that much. We have to make sure we don't settle for this. This aim has to be the aim has to be get wins and yada yada yada. It's 1 goal between the teams in the end. You come away with the win thanks to that second half strike. Did you feel like you were comfortable? We gave ourselves something to hang on to. We should have scored more. What are you talking about? Every player did it. I mean, really, every player did do his job. I mean, yeah, they scored a bunch. Yeah, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, no further questions, thanks.
That's, I mean, if you ask me, that's just amazing. Holy crap. Because as you can tell here, we are now ahead of CF Montreal by 2 points. Let's go ahead and sim forward to the day before the next game, and then I'll go ahead and advance to the 2-game day. After that, I really don't see why I can't not put Wolf in the starting lineup. Maybe not necessarily as a striker, but jeez. Okay, Wolf, relax. I've been playing pretty well lately, feeling really good. I just hope that means I won't be able on the bench for the game. You won't. We've got bigger games coming up. I'll think about it. Perfect. I mean, he is going to start, but San Jose's last in their respective conference, so you can tell the management's really happy that I won that. And Lopez has been really kind of not performing well. I know you can't play striker, but you did damn good at it, so you're playing striker. It's funny how both Pepe and Lopez have made their way to the bench. And that doesn't, just because of that last game, does not mean that Wolf is set in stone to be the starter. I'm absolutely amazed that he did that, but still, we still gotta work on our team. As we find our way back to the bottom of the league, so I will get to that in just a moment. Number 1 for the Eastern Conference is going to be Columbus Crew with 21 points. Number 2 is going to be Philadelphia with 19 points. Number 3 is going to be New England, who's been kind of steady right there at that nice third spot with 14. Orlando right behind him, even though they just lost. They're at number 4 with 14 points. DC right behind him with 11 at 5. Chicago also at 11 points, but at 6. Toronto with 11 points at 7. At number 8, you have New York Red Bulls with 10 points. At 9, you have Inter Miami with 9 points. And then at 10th, you have Atlanta with 8 points. And then you have New York City FC with 6 points. Then you have at 12th, CF Montreal, who just won their first game with a draw already. That puts them at 4 points, making them 12th. And then you have us at the bottom, who won our first game and putting us at 13th with 3 points. Oops. And shit. Then making our way over to the Western Conference, at number 1 you have the new crown being given to Sporting KC with 19 points. Number 2 is Minnesota United at 17. And a little ways behind, you have Seattle Sounders, the Seattle Sounders at 3rd with 13 points. LAFC at 4th with 13 points. The Galaxy at 5th with 12 points. The Dynamo have been making a huge comeback on the season, as they are now 6th, as they've been kind of at the bottom for the most part. But they are now 6th with 11 points. And FC Dallas at 7th, barely hanging on to that playoff spot by a point above the next spot up with 11 points. Then you have the Colorado Rapids at 8 with 10 points, with Real Salt Lake at 9th with 9 points, Portland Timbers at 10th with 9, Nashville SC at 11th with 7, Whitecaps at 12th at 7, and then you have the San Jose Earthquakes at 13 with 4 points. And they have 3 goals all season with a minus 11 goal differential. So even though it's based off of points, I don't think that we're the worst team. We're about to find out who is the worst team, because we're both last in our division. That will be next episode, which I will be streaming right after this, because I'm very excited about this game. With that being said, I will catch you in the next one.